All right, thanks, guys. The Lakers take on the Knicks. That's going to be a 12 o'clock Eastern tip-off at Madison Square Garden. The Lakers open 4.5 total at 220. We're seeing a slight fade of the Lakers when it comes to the spread. We're also seeing movement downward on the total as well. Lakers down to -4, total down to 219. So once again, LA open 4.5 down to -4, total open 220 down to 219. 64% are leaning Lakers, 53% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Knicks are +1. Let's try that again. The Knicks are +155 for some money line cash. Now, Chandler, Stevenson, and Hart are all questionable for the Lakers. Meanwhile, for the Knicks, Vonleh and Smith are questionable as well. The Knicks lost their last 8 straight. They're also just 1-7 against the spread in that same category. They rank dead last in offensive field goal percentage, 43% in that category there. And they also rank 28th in the association in defensive rebounding. Now the Lakers rank 4th in road offensive field goal percentage. They're shooting 47.3% from the field in that category there. So once again, the Lakers rank 4th in road offensive field goal percentage, 47.3% in that category there. They also rank 5th in road offensive rebounding. And when it comes to the scoring, the Knicks are 63% to the over in their games played at the current posted total. Give me the Lakers -4 in the over 219 in that matchup there. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Sunday's NBA, college basketball, and NHL action. Happy St. Patty's Day. Just want to quickly remind you to check me out on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop back into some more lines and personal leans. It all starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got Hornets, Heat, 1 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Miami. The Heat open 4, total 214.5. We're seeing movement downward on both the spread and the total. Right now, the Heat -3.5, total 213. Once again, Miami open -4, down to -3.5, total open 214.5, down to 213 even. 63% are leaning Miami, 56% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Hornets are +140 on the money line. Cody Zeller is doubtful for Charlotte. Meanwhile, Dwayne Wade and Winslow are both questionable for Miami. Now, the Heat are 5-2 straight up in their last 7, 6-3 ATS in their last 9. Miami ranks 3rd in defensive points allowed. They also rank 2nd in defensive field goal percentage at 44% in that category there. Miami ranks 4th in defensive rebounding as well. Now, Charlotte's failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6. They're also 3-7 straight up in their last 10 and 2-4 ATS in their last 6 on the road. When it comes to scoring, Charlotte is 4-1 to the over in their last 5 when traveling. Miami 6-3 to the over in their last 9 at home. Give me the Miami Heat -3.5 in the over 213 in that matchup there. Next game, Sixers, Bucks, 3:30 Eastern tip-off in Milwaukee. The Bucks open 7, total 230.5. We're seeing movement downward on the spread and upward on the total. Bucks are 6.5, total 231. So once again, Milwaukee open -7, down to -6.5, total open 230.5, up to 231. 56% are leaning Philadelphia, 58% shaded toward the over. Right now, the Sixers are +220 on the money line. Brogdon's still out indefinitely for Milwaukee. Dante DiVincenzo is also questionable for the Bucks. Regardless, though, Milwaukee's still 6-2 against the spread in their last 8, 9-1 straight up in their last 10 at home. The Bucks rank 1st in the NBA in offensive rebounding, 1st in defensive field goal percentage, and 1st in home scoring. They're averaging 120 points per contest on their home court. Now, the Sixers rank 27th in the NBA in defending the 3-ball on the road. They've also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5. And they're 2-5 against the spread in their last 7, taking on Milwaukee if you're into historical trends. Now, when it comes to the total, Philly 7-1 to the under in their last 8. Milwaukee 7-3 to the under in their last 10 on their home court. Give me the Bucks -6.5. In the under 231 in that matchup there. Next game, Raptors, Pistons, 4 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Detroit. The Raptors open 2.5, total 217.5. We're seeing movement on both the spread and the total downward. Toronto's now 2, total 217. Once again, the Raptors open 2.5 down to -2. Total open 217.5 down to 217 even. 80% are leaning Toronto, 67% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Pistons are plus 105 on the money line. Now, Lowry, Green, and Van Vliet are all questionable for Toronto. Serge Ibaka still out serving that suspension. Toronto's 12-4 straight up in their last 16, 6-2 straight up in their last 8 when traveling. They rank 6th in the NBA in road scoring and 8th in road offensive field goal percentage. Now, Detroit ranks 28th in offensive field goal percentage. Just 44% in that category there. They've also covered just 6 out of 17 games played at the current point spread. Now, when it comes to the total, Toronto's 67% to the over in their games at the current posted total. Give me the Raptors -2 and the over 217 in that matchup there. Next game, Hawks, Magic, 6 o'clock tip-off in Orlando. The Magic opened 7, total 226.5. We're seeing movement upward on the spread and downward on the total. Orlando 7.5, total 225 and a hook. So once again, Orlando opened 7, up to -7.5. Total open 226.5, down to 225 and a hook. 52% are leaning Atlanta, 58% shaded toward the over. The Hawks are plus 265 on the money line. Atlanta successfully covered the number in 6 out of their last 7. They're also a perfect 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 when traveling. They are 21-15 ATS on the road overall for the year, and they are covering 61% of their games, taking on teams between 450 and 550. Now, Orlando is covering just 20% of their games that tipped off at the current number. They also rank 26th in offensive scoring. The Magic also ranked 23rd in home offensive rebounding, and they failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6 games. Now, total-wise, Orlando's 5-1 to the under in their last 6. Atlanta 6-4 to the under in their second of a back-to-back this year. Give me the Atlanta Hawks plus 7.5 and the under 225 and a hook in that matchup there. Next game, Bulls, Kings, 6 o'clock tip-off in Sacramento. The Kings open 7, total 233. We're seeing movement both downward on the spread and the total. Spread 6.5, total 232. So once again, Sacramento open 7, down to -6.5, total open 233, down to 232. 62% are leaning Sacramento, 60% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Bulls are plus 215 on the money line. Ryan Arcidiacono is questionable with a head injury for Chicago. Man, really a mouthful there. Ryan Arcidiacono is questionable with a head injury for Chicago. There we go. Good read, Brock. They're also just 1-6 straight up in their last 7. The Bulls have failed to cover in 5 out of their last 7 in that same category there. Now, Sacramento's 13-5 ATS in their last 18, 12-3 ATS in their last 15 at home. They rank 3rd in the NBA in three-point shooting. Now, total-wise, Sacramento 6-1 to the under in their last 7. Chicago 9-2 to the under in their last 11, taking on Sacramento if you're into historical trends. So with all that said and done, I'm going to lean Kings -6.5 and the under 232 in that matchup there. Next game, Timberwolves, Rockets, 9 o'clock tip-off in Houston. The Rockets open 6, total 225. We're seeing movement upward on the spread and the total in that matchup there. Houston 6.5, total 225 and a hook. So once again, the Rockets open -6, up to -6.5, total open 225, up to 225 and a hook. 85% are leaning Houston, 80% shaded toward the over. Right now, the T-Wolves are plus 210 on the money line. Rose and Teague are both on the injury report. Rose is questionable for Minnesota. Teague is ruled out for the T-Wolves as well. Meanwhile, on the Houston side, James Harden is listed as questionable with a neck injury. But regardless, Houston 10-1 straight up in their last 11, 6-1 straight up in their last 7 at the Toyota Center. Houston ranks 6th in defending the 3-ball. Their offense is also putting up 116 points per contest on their home court. Now, Minnesota's failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5. They're just 3-6 straight up in their last 9. They're also a winless 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 when traveling. Now, total-wise, Minnesota's 7-2 to the over in their last 9. Houston 4-1 to the over in their last 5, taking on Minnesota if you're into historical trends. Give me Houston -6.5 and the over 225 and a hook in that matchup there. Next and final game for our NBA slate, it is going to be Brooklyn at the Clippers. 9 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Los Angeles. The Clippers open -5, total 232.5. And since those markets open this one up, we're seeing movement upward on the spread. Money on the Clippers. We're seeing movement downward on the total. Clippers are now -6, total 232. So once again, Los Angeles open -5 up to -6, total open 232.5 down to 232 even. 61% of the consensus is leaning toward the Clippers, 59% shaded toward the under. Right now, the Brooklyn Nets are plus 205 on the money line. Alan Crabb and Shabazz Napier are both questionable for the Nets. Brooklyn's also failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5 games. They're also 1-4 ATS in their last 5 on the road. Now the Clippers are 6-1 straight up in their last 7. 7-2 against the number in their last 9. They rank second in the NBA in three-point shooting. And they've won 6 out of their last 7 at the Staples Center. Now total-wise, the Clippers are 5-3 to the under in their last 8. Brooklyn 7-0 to the under in their last 7. Give me the Clippers -6 in the under 232 in that matchup there. All right, next slate. We're going to dive into